And I want you to see this psychology. Like, why is this person who's so older than you, maybe 5 years or more, or someone even way older than that, like 10 years and more, why are they even trying to be with anybody? Shouldn't they already, because they've obviously reached that adult age a long time ago, if they were a healthy, good person, right? They're not evil, they don't cheat, they don't do bad things. Why don't they already have a marriage and children? They don't want kids, that's fine. But why are they not already in a relationship? So you should be, the first thing you should be thinking when you see someone old trying to be with people who are young, the first thing you should be thinking is, there's something wrong with that person who's old. Because if they were a normal, healthy, good human, they'd already have a relationship. If they don't have a relationship, that means there's something wrong with them. And because there's something wrong with them, they're seeking people who are younger than them. So they can have someone to manipulate who's ignorant, that's gullible, and then someone they can dominate. They don't ever want to be with a healthy, mature adult like themselves that would do what to them? What would they do? Exactly. Judge you, evaluate you, criticize you, constantly tell you to do the right thing, constantly tell you to be a mature romantic partner. Okay, so they don't want to be those things. They don't want to do all the things that I just told you God designed marriage to be. Compatible, mature, serious, commitment, honoring each other, uplifting each other, protecting each other. They don't want to do all those important things that someone mature, you would agree, would do. And two, someone who's moral, someone who's good would do, because all those things require being good. So that's it. When you see celebrities marrying celebrities way younger than them, like 10 years apart, the one that's 10 years older is a failed human in their morality and in their relationships, therefore. Because if they really were a healthy female or a healthy male, they'd already have a partner. The fact that they don't tells you there's something wrong with them. So they're just coming to you who's younger, 10 years younger, because they just want to take advantage of you. So that society doesn't at least say you're single forever. They can be like, look, everybody, I have somebody, leave me alone. But it's not even a somebody, it's just a kid. I don't care if that person is 30 years old and they're 40. It's still a kid, because when you were 10, they were 0. What the hell, they weren't even born. You get me? It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're an adult. As long as they're older than you, you're always a kid to them. Understand that. A kid doesn't just mean someone who's actually a kid. As long as they're older than you, you're always a kid compared to them. It's always perversion and creepy. God doesn't like that. Okay, God didn't tell you to do that. It's creepy. So that's why humans who divorce, they always have a pattern. They usually get divorced around 40. And then they look for someone 10 years younger. What? Why are they always getting divorced around the same age? Why are males who are creepy and old around 40-something always looking for children and teenagers and females in the 20s? What the hell is going on? Why are they always 40? Don't you understand? Therefore, it's demonic. Because you can't create a cycle if it's a coincidence, right? If that male actually got divorced or had a problem at the age of 40 coincidentally, then it would just be coincidentally. If for it to always be the actual age in the male that's perverted, who's all of a sudden lost his wife and now trying to be a predator to young females, is what? Exactly, demons caused it. They make sure he gets divorced always. These perverted males, when they get married to the females around their age, they make sure they get him divorced around the same age. They make sure he's disinterested in her around his 30s, and then 40s, boom, they cut him off from her. Okay, how do they do that? They make him more evil, make him cheat, make him harass her, tell her to do things that are sexist and evil. And I just told you, this is a human being. As long as they're the same age as you, same age group as you, they're mature like you, they can protect themselves from any evil you could have. Therefore, she's going to defend herself the way you expect her to. Are you going to say that's a bad thing? Come on. Okay, so you're not going to argue with me on something that common sense. She's going to do exactly what you want a human to do. You get me? In this case, this female, this human, is going to defend herself, tell this male to grow up and be a man and be normal and be moral. He's going to say no because he's evil. Okay, so she's going to have to divorce him. Then guess what's going to happen? He doesn't want an actual female that could ever put him in that place again. Someone who would make you become a man. Someone that would tell you to be a man. Someone that would tell you to be an adult. Someone that will tell you to be a good human. Someone that will tell you to be moral. All those qualities. He doesn't obviously want to become them. So he needs someone who won't tell him to become them. Which is who? Someone dumb, correct? someone dumb in age, someone gullible, someone who doesn't even know what a man is, someone who doesn't even know what true moral human is, someone who doesn't know what adult is because they're not an adult themselves. So they go for females younger for that reason because they're evil. They lost their wife. They lost the females they dated throughout all those years by being evil to them, being sexist to them, being immature. They don't want, therefore, to ever change. So they think, you know what? This age group, this mature age group is me, same age as me. They're always going to obviously judge me for the evil that I have. I don't want to change it. They're right. I'm wrong. But because I don't want to stop being wrong, I'm going to go for someone who won't put me in that spot and judge me. And he goes for little girls. He goes for children. He goes for females who are in their 20s. And now he wants to rob them of their happiness. Understand, this is why it's evil. Because when you're going for someone younger than you, or when you're going for someone older than you, you're perverted in the age. Age perversion. There's many types of perversion. Age, you can also pervert it in the age. You're stealing from them and robbing from them their actual spouse that God wanted for them, the actual person that they were supposed to be sexual with, which means what? You're stealing their happiness. So it's actually these humans who are going for humans younger and older, they actually want to rob your happiness. They want to take away from you that person that physically was same attractive level as you, which they don't have, same age group as you, which they don't have, same, personality and persona and just sort of vibe, and because, you're the same, you're compatible and everything. They want to take away from you all those great things that person would give you. Therefore, your happiness is gone. Your sexual life that you could have enjoyed is gone. This is not sexual. This is perversion. This is disgusting. Just because you're perverted too and consent to it, because throughout your childhood, you never learned what true purity is in sexuality. And maybe you were molested or raped, or you were around perverted humans, or you were abused, or you were around narcissistic, creepy males who taught you to be sexist. Just because you're messed up in the head, don't use the fact that you consent to it to somehow mean that it's normal and that I'm just somehow different than you and you're just a different type of human and I should just respect your existence. No. I'm the normal human. You're not. There's only one type of human God created, normal. Anyone who's opposite of the mentality that I have is not a normal human. They're perverted, they're filthy, they're weird. Just because you exist doesn't mean that's the evidence that you're normal too. Obviously, filthy things and horrible things exist. You're not going to say their existence equivalates or means that it's normal. Come on. So there's something wrong with you. You don't honor yourself. You don't love yourself. You don't see what beauty age has. Age is a beautiful thing. The younger you are, you're supposed to admire that about yourself. You're beautiful when you're 20. You're beautiful when you're 15. You're beautiful when you're 25. You're beautiful when you're 30. Your age is always beautiful for you. But the younger you were, the more beautiful you were. Not physicality, okay? Some people actually get prettier over time. I mean, you're beautiful. You get me? So that beauty that you have, that the beauty of being a young person, that's what the devil wants to take away from you. I just told you how he does it. He makes you unsuccessful with your age group. He does things where you just never meet the ones that would want to be with you, that you could pick one from. They always reject you. They use witchcraft and possession because those humans are possessed. They'll just reject you. They'll push you, therefore, to then be in situations where old females approach you as a male. And they'll tell you to accept her. Disgusting, creepy as hell witch. She's a creepy witch. Anytime I see a female older than a male, I get so pissed off. I literally see like a mother going after a son. You get me? It's creepy. That's why we see things like mother, father. Because that is the age group that's supposed to be a mother and a father. So, God is not stupid. He's not going to also give them a status of being sexual partners with you too. People who are the same age as them. You idiots. They can only be parents to us, whether they're strangers to us or not. That age group that's older than us. So anytime they're coming on to you acting like they can be sexual, it's not sexual, it's perversion, it's filthy, they're creepy as hell. They already were born before you. They already had beautiful people their age that they were growing up with in high school and college. Where are those people? Why are they not married to one of them? You should be thinking there's something wrong with this person if they reach this age and don't have a partner already. There is something wrong with them. They're filthy as hell, so they want you. They want to objectify you and take you. The other thing is, the things that humans usually complain about when they say something like, oh, if the female's too old and the male is too young, or if the male is too old and the female is too young, what do they always talk about? Obviously, this age of the perversion of age. What does it obviously lead to? The logical conclusion that this person's obviously going to age even more. And when you're still young and bright and also can have children, they can't. Again, they'll always act like the male's not a big deal because they act like his sperm is always there. Who cares about that? We're just talking about logic here. They're lying about that too, just so you know. In terms of biology, if you study it, he also loses whatever he has in his sexual organs or private parts. He also loses it over time as he ages. Okay, they're lying to you. That's why they have things like erectile dysfunction or whatever. They lose it too. God doesn't design you to keep being sexual as you age, because he considers that more like a humble time. Like, leave the sort of sexual. Be more humble. Be more pure. So he kind of takes that away from you. Your body diminishes and gets smaller and weaker, and the private parts really don't look the way they used to. They get smaller and weaker, and okay, because he doesn't want you to focus on that part anymore. You're about to die soon. It's over. So for that reason, he doesn't care about your sexual life because he doesn't even want you. Do you see how logical he is? Because he doesn't want you to think you're supposed to be sexual at that age. He doesn't know how he's gonna take that. No, he doesn't know. Goodness, my words keep getting ruined. If God didn't do something that will make it easy for you to know, I was trying to say you don't know. My words get ruined when I record this because stupid demons harassing my mind. And there's always noise around me. Okay, so you, the human, don't know how you could see that, right? You would never know what God wants. So God sometimes uses biology and nature to show you that. He doesn't want you to be sexual anymore in your old age. He doesn't want you to focus on that anymore. Just, of course, you can do it because you're still married to each other, but he doesn't want you to see it anymore. You get me? It's sort of like your prime thing with each other. So for that reason, he does something to the biology, the body. He diminishes those qualities in the bodies of the male and the female. So for that reason, don't accuse God of being sexist and creepy and making males look 20 forever and making females. Just stop, okay? So anyways, he diminishes it in the human, male and female, because he's using that to then push you away from it. You get me? Pushing you away from sexual life. So you can't be like you're going to go marry again. No, leave it alone. You're old as hell. Goodness. Of course, we can't stop you if you want to get married again, but I'm just saying. That's just not your thing now. That should be shame. Demons obviously project out to these creepy humans. If I'm 50, I don't care about that nonsense. I'm old. I'm preparing myself for death. So that's what a normal human would think like. They already enjoyed their sexual life if they were married in their 20s and 30s with someone of the same age group as them. That's enough. When you're old, you don't have desire anymore. See, God is not dumb. He's not going to keep the desire at the same level, but just make your body weak. That's dumb. You agree? The desire also goes away and the body gets weak. You can't even perform it. Okay, because he doesn't want you to do it anymore. He wants you to focus on other things now, especially him, even more than you did when you were sort of younger and you still were supposed to focus on him, because now you're about to die soon. All the sin you could have committed, you don't even know about. You're supposed to pray against it now. You're supposed to not be more of that person that is an elderly, okay? Focus more on being a grandparent. Okay, so because these humans are creepy and evil, and that's why they get divorced, that's why they break up, and they already had, a good life with someone their age, these males will become perverted later on in life usually. They already had a wife that was same age as them, okay? They were both beautiful, both got married, both enjoyed their sexual life, had children, aged together, they look wonderful together. Boom, they divorced and now he goes for someone young. Why? Because that's why he got divorced. He became perverted. He became evil. He went into alcohol and drugs. This woman is still a good person. He's not. She's going to obviously complain. Be like, what the hell's wrong with you? You need to be a good man again. You were good before. He's going to say, no, I don't want to. So who's wrong here? He's wrong. So then because he's wrong and the devil made him become this way and he doesn't want to change, when the wife did what I just told you men and women are supposed to do for each other who are romantic, they're supposed to guide each other, both, not one the other. Goodness. Both guide each other to be moral, good people and leave sin. When she's doing that part for her spouse, the way God wants her to do it, when he's going crazy, he doesn't want to change, right? We can't change people. It's their choice. Because he doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to be around people who could be like her, which is his age group. It could be a man. It doesn't matter. He's not going to be around his age group anymore. He's going to avoid that age group because they're his age group. They remember. who he was all these years, and they also have the intellect and the maturity to understand how to deal with someone like him. Not a young female who doesn't even know who she is, who doesn't have any identity, who's gullible and anyone can. There you go. Just like a young male who's also gullible, doesn't know who he is. Okay, this is not sexism here. So therefore, it's actually psychological. That's why they go for someone younger. They don't want to be judged for the evil that they did that got them divorced from their wives. Same way these females don't want to be judged for the evil she did to her husband that got him to leave her and get divorced. And now they don't want to be with someone who could put them in that same situation again of expecting maturity, love, commitment, equality, and everything, taking care of the kids, the home, the money. Everything is supposed to be fair and just and balanced and equal. They don't want that because they became evil. Evil means you're unjust, you're unbalanced. You want one side to be high and the other side to be low. Okay, unjust. So therefore, they don't want to be with people who are just, which is people their age who want maturity from you, commitment from you, intellect and morality from you if they're moral. Even if they're not good people, they still want maturity because you're still an adult. You can't be like a kid just because you're evil. They want that maturity. You know, because they might be toxic, but they may not be toxic in the romantic area. They may not necessarily be, evil in this area. Okay. So they still are going to be mature. They're still going to be intellectual with you. They're still going to, it doesn't mean they're intelligent, okay? I just mean they're going to be intellectual with you, They're going to use logic. And they're going to want maturity. Because you're mature. You're an adult. You're old, okay? You're in your 30s or 40s. Because you don't want to change because you're evil. This female that's failed with the male gender, now goes for little boys. She goes for boys in their 20s. Beautiful age, beautiful prime time for him to marry females his age group. Or teenager, even worse. And the male does the same thing. He's failed. They don't want to marry each other. These ones who got divorced. They want to go and be with people who are clean and who are also ignorant of everything, so they can manipulate them, use them as their sort of badge. Like, look, I have some romantic partner too. I'm not alone. See, it's psychological. They're sick in the head. They feel like they have to prove something. But that's not their first reason. Because obviously they could just be with someone their age if they just didn't want to look like, right? They failed. They don't have a partner. There's nothing wrong with them going to someone their age group. What the hell's their problem? Why don't they just do that? They don't want to because it's a morality thing. They're evil. They can't fulfill the obligations of a spouse. They can't be present for their spouse, and they can't be present for their children. They don't want someone, therefore, that would ever expect the same thing from them again because they don't want to do those things. So they're evil. Do you see what I mean by humans who are older than you or younger than you coming on to you is evil? How can they do something evil if their character is not evil, correct? So I just proved to you how their character is evil. Their character is evil because they lived longer than you. If they were normal and healthy, they'd have a healthy relationship with someone their age already. They'd already have children, be a good role model for you to do the same. For them to go after you like they were just born yesterday like you means there's something wrong with them. They're still a kid in their mind. They're still stupid and dumb and ignorant. They're creepy as hell. They're just stupid. I don't even know what word. Goodness, the word stupid matches them. But they're evil. Okay? You can't see it because what do evil humans do when they approach people? What do perverts do when they approach little girls or boys? Hi, how are you today? What is that, yours? They change their tone, body language. They even make their body physically go down lower to match the child's height. They try to mimic the tone of children, how they talk. They try to act positive like children. They mimic that positivity. Same thing. This human in their late 20s or 30s will approach someone who's just 20 or younger or whatever, whichever the gender is, doesn't matter. And then, because we have perverts in both genders, obviously, so it doesn't matter if the male is the one older here or younger, whatever, you get the point. These humans who are older than you or younger than you, who are perverted, who are approaching you this way because they're perverted, they do that. They try to match you. They try to act like they're talking to you about your college life when they're already in almost 30 and they're supposed to have kids and get married already, have someone from their age time to be married to. You know, the people they grew up with is who they're supposed to have someone to marry from. What the hell do they want from you? So they're manipulative. You can't say they're not evil, because I don't want you to believe that humans can do something evil and not be evil themselves. You get me? You might agree with me this is perversion and creepy and evil. But what if you don't think those humans are evil? That's stupid. The human has to be evil too. So I'm trying to show you that the human is evil too. How do they approach these people? Manipulative. Like they're hiding something, like a thief, like a kidnapper. Hey, how are you? These creepy males that God would send with demons possessing them to teach me the psychology of perversion. Always, they would try to talk to me about my career or my college or what the hell? You're a grown man. You're like the age of my older brother. Get the hell away from me. You're almost 30. You can marry that are just like you. The hell's your problem? Get the hell away from. So, anyways, he's supposed to marry someone his same physicality as him, obviously. The idea there's always humans who are at the same level as them, whether they're ugly or not. They're supposed to pick someone their physicality level in that beauty area. Okay, but if, let's say, the male is not ugly necessarily. Okay, there's females who are not ugly like him, then who are beautiful, then that he can pick from. What the hell you want from these little girls who are just starting off in college and high school? Leave them alone. So I'm trying to show you the human is evil, because humans have a conscience, right? I just told you, it's just like when I was 20, when I'm 30, I'm going to still see 20-year-old boys like I saw myself when I was 20, how they would see, I'm sorry, when I was 20, how I saw 30-year-old males, right? Is how I'm going to see myself when I see a 20-year-old boy today. You get me? So we have a conscience. We can't go against that conscience and actually go to them like a actual romantic partner or age. 'Cause that's about love. That's about fairness. That's about attraction. That's healthy and safe and peaceful. When they're older than you or younger than you, one always is going to feel unsafe and scared to death. One is always going to be scared for their life, okay? I told you, humans just are evil to themselves. They ignore that conscience, that gut is from their God. They ignore it and they go to these humans, they do perversion together. They just call it sexual. Because how can they say something evil is normal? Unless they call it good words. That's why they call it sexual. If they call it perversion, then you tell them to leave it. They don't want you to leave it. I'm sorry, they don't want you to tell them to leave it because they're obviously acting like this is normal. So, of course, they're going to call it good words like sexual, okay? So, yeah, when I would see those males, how would they approach? Because God made them do that. They're not doing that towards me. It's fake. God made them do that to teach me their psychology. They would always try to act like you. They would always try to act like me or like you. You get me? Whatever your life, that moment you're focused on, you're a young person, whatever you're focused on, right? School, college, like they're going to talk to you about those things. Why? Manipulation. Because they have no business with you. Those things are not things that they understand or they know, or they already passed their time, their mark. They're mature adult. They're supposed to think about important, serious, deep topics. They're supposed to have, very important conversations with people their age. So they're filthy. They don't want that because they like to objectify and dominate young people. That's the reason they do this. So they obviously have to act and talk and mimic young people. Okay? It's creepy as hell. That's why we call it creepy. It's creepy because something is normal, right? But if you mimic it and you're not like it, right? You're not like that too, but you're mimicking it. It comes out as creepy because it is creepy. You get me? It's not something that looks creepy, but it's not creepy. No, it's creepy because you're not like them. You're not a young person. You don't have any business talking about those things with that young female at your job. You're a creepy old male. You're 20-something years old. You're 25 or 30. You're supposed to have conversations with females who are also 25 and 30, whichever age you are. Because you don't want to. That means what? You don't want a female. So these humans don't want a romantic partner. If they did, then they would go to people their age. Everything they need in a romantic partner is in the people their age. The maturity, the intellect that they're not going to have with someone younger. And then two, the sexual, the history, because they grew up the same time as you. They don't want a sexual partner. They don't want a romantic partner. They want someone to dominate. So that's why they're going for people younger. But I told you already, humans can't think like that on a global basis. This can't just spread. These types of males and perverted females are everywhere because demons are controlling the human race. They're controlling our world. So they make sure these types of males are everywhere. They make sure these types of females are everywhere. You know? They get married too. They have children too. It doesn't mean they didn't have a relationship all their life with people their age. They don't care. That's why you meet that creepy uncle, that creepy brother, that creepy father, that creepy neighbor, that creepy teacher, okay, who are married. You get me? Perversion is a character thing. It's not connected to sexuality. It's not sexual. Because if it was sexual, I just told you they have a partner. They're married already. Why are they talking to these young girls? You get me? It's filthy. It's evil. It's not sexual. God did not create them that way. They want to harm and objectify young girls. They want to steal the beautiful boys that God created for them who are the same age as them. They want to take it. They're jealous of that. You know, I would see that. When I talk to guys my age, who obviously were attracted to me, I would see the creepy older males. They're demons. God would make them show me their face. Jealousy, envy. They hate the fact that I'm with someone compatible with me. A boy my age. You get me? Because that's actually a man for me. That's actually a real man. He's a good person in character. He's compatible with me in physicality. He's just as attractive as me. You know, we get along, our personality, everything's perfect. They know then I'm going to be happy. That's a real man for me. The devil hates that. I just told you he hates men and women, the romantic relationship the most, because that's love, and he hates love. And that's the biggest love there is. And it fixes all global problems. It fixes perversion, it fixes sexism, because how can males be sexist if they all were this type of male, right, who actually loves a female? Then they love the gender, you get me? Then they can't be sexist to the gender because they really love their wife, you get me? So it fixes the morality of the male towards the female gender and towards his own gender if he actually was capable of really loving a female. So they make sure he never learns to love a female. They prevent the correct female from him, for him. And then they corrupt him if you already met her. Some of them, humans can change. They corrupt him and make him evil. And he rejects her at some point, divorces her, and goes and becomes a predator to young girls. When he was younger, he would hate those males. He would, right, protect his daughter from males like that. He would call them evil and filthy and failed. And he'd be like, hey, you know, you're the same age as me. You're a grown old man like me. How dare you come after my daughter? Oh, but you want to go after other men's daughters? Piece of garbage. This is what I mean by evil. In their conscience, they agree with us, but then when it comes to them doing the evil conduct, then they like to justify and say that that's okay for them to do it. God have mercy. You know? I've actually seen that in perverted males. They don't like it when old creepy males like them look at their kids. Oh, but they want to walk around the park staring at little children. What the hell is going on? That's what I mean. It's their conscience. They know that human is male. They know that human male or female is evil and perverted, and okay, they see that as evil. They don't see that as okay. So because they see that as evil, because they're human and they have a conscience, and it doesn't matter if they're evil or not, the conscience is always going to see things as good or bad, right? It's always going to know right from wrong. They can't take that out of themselves just because they're evil, okay? So they can't help it. They can't help but show you morality as well. They're also thinking from a moral perspective. Oh, but when they want to do it, how come they... Oh, exactly. Because that's when demons are using them to blind that and say, don't worry about your conscience. Let's go do this. You get me? So you're not going to understand why. Someone just over here who was being moral, but over here is not. You're not going to understand what happened to them. Because you're thinking, well, why don't they just use that mentality 24/7? Because a different species is possessing them and telling them to do it and making them do it and controlling them. Okay? They're guilty. They agreed to it. But at least you get me. They were manipulated either way. They were controlled either way. They were taught either way. It's not really him who made himself this way. So his humanity comes out when it's not him. Okay? But when he's going to be told to do the evil to others, then his humanity goes away. Do you see what I mean? So that's how you know God created him to hate that, and that's not his nature. Just come after his little children, come after his little girls, come after his teenage daughter. He'll beat you up. Oh, but he wants to go after someone over there, that man, his teenage daughter. Piece of garbage. The same way you would see your daughter, 16-year-old, some creepy old male comes to her. That's how you're supposed to see those females who are 16 when you see them yourself. Don't let the devil take away that morality and that consciousness and that humanity from you. Teenagers are supposed to be sexual with each other. They're only supposed to be with each other. They're just not supposed to be sexual. They're supposed to wait until at least maybe they get to the 20s. But, right, if there was such a thing as sexuality, teenagers would do it together. You don't have the ability to see them sexually. I just told them already. You can't even see them that way. It's the devil that teaches you to do that. You don't even feel that love or anything towards them. You just want to take advantage of them because it's easy. They're easy. Do you agree the younger someone is, the more easy it is when you, an adult, talk to them? Because they don't have any sort of qualifications or boundaries or anything towards you. They're not judging you. They're not critiquing you. They're not expecting anything from you because they don't see you as an actual partner. You're not a partner to them. You're an old person to them. You're like a parent. Okay, someone who's compatible with you in age, who could see you as a partner, that's someone who would critique you. Therefore, they're going to be more serious. They're going to protect their boundaries. They're not going to allow you to speed things up. They're going to try to get to know you and protect them. Common sense. All those things, the young person is not going to do it because they don't even know what the hell is going on. They just trust you. They think older means safe because their parents were older and they were safe. Correct? They think their older sister, their older brother, how they always took care of them is how you're just taking care of them. They don't understand what the hell you're doing. Your filthy, evil intention to touch their body, you disgusting pervert. So then they like to use that against the person. Oh, they get along with me though. They don't hate me. Excuse me, they don't know what the hell you were thinking. So when I would see those demons possessing those perverted males, which means all males who are perverted are possessed, okay? So it's always their demon. Anytime I was with a boy that's compatible with me, they would get mad. God have mercy, that's demons. You get me? They don't want you to be happy. So then you'd be thinking, but there's so many people today who are being sexual. What do you mean demons don't like that? They're committing a sin, get it? They're objectifying their body through casual and promiscuity, I mean. So they're perverted in another way, okay? I just told you there's different types of perversion. It's not just one. So the age, right? The one that's age, usually done by the male, going after females younger than him and females going after males older than them. She's perverted too. That's really it. That's really the big one that I wish you've got. Ask me which one I want to get rid of first. I get rid of this one. Because I'm sick and tired of this nonsense. Literally, he's an older brother. When you're a young girl, your older big siblings, those males who took care of you when you went to the playground, watched over you, that just in another body is coming to you. How the hell are you going to call that nature and from God Almighty? You guys stupid in the head. That is a brother, okay? No matter whether he's blood related or not. You're supposed to act like a brother always. And if you're a father age, well, you're always a father. Leave these people alone. You need to go fix your morality. The way the human beings don't know this is spiritual and these humans are perverted these humans who are perverted are possessed, is possessed humans don't like to tell you they're possessed. If they told you that, all religious preachers in the past human history would have connected their sort of perversion to that. They connected to the demon. Why would the demon want you to know that? Right? If everything that comes from them, humans just throw it out. So they don't want you to know they possess humans. They don't want you to know they exist. Demons always fight with that. They create a mental illness and make everything they make humans do into mental illness. All things that are perversion, they make it into nature. So they can just hide their existence. Okay? So they're just going to tell you to just accept these males. There's nothing you can do. This is who they are. Yes, you can. You can make laws. You can change the minds of females and males when they're young. You can teach them what perversion is. You can teach them not to let someone younger and older come on to them. You can teach them not to let anyone teach them or groom them to accept the filth they want to do to them. Obviously, they want to keep these people and rape them for eternity. Why would they then attack them? They want to keep them forever, years and years and years. So they groom them to accept it themselves. They groom you to accept them when they're old or too young. They groom you to accept them. You get me? Because since you accepted it, they can go to society and say they're not forcing you, and there's no righteous people to beat them up. So then they're just gonna go take you like some property, and now they can touch you all the time, forever and ever and ever and ever, and they'll tell everyone it was sexual. So disgusting. You get me? So the devil is not gonna just try to do rape, because that doesn't give him enough acts of perversion. He can't do that much perversion with attacking human beings with rape. You get me? It will be limited. Because the humans who could get raped and attacked and molested, there's a small number of them. Okay, then the devil is thinking, oh, how can I get a lot of the human race to be in a state of perversion? I need a lot of them. I want to touch all of them as much as I can. So those are the righteous. Okay, they were sent to kill me. Okay, and those are the good, strong ones. I can't touch them. And then, okay, this middle average creation of God Almighty. How do I get them into perversions? So then he says, oh, I'll get them to consent to being raped. He grooms them to accept it. You guys already know females and boys are taken from streets and malls and places every day. They're groomed. And they're asked to go somewhere, and they go, and they're actually trafficked. That's it. But instead of being trafficked, now they actually tell you they're dating and they get married. You see what I'm saying? It's not marriage or dating. So there's just many forms that it's taking. It's the same perversion. The perversion of someone older than you or younger than you. But now they're actually doing it in different forms. One is happening in the form of an actual attack. They rape or molest the human. One is happening in an actual trafficking, and then they rape and molest them. But more like in a slavery-like state. The rape and molestation continues on for a long time because they took the human in captivity. Okay, and these ones, they groom them to just accept it themselves, and they go out every day in public society telling you this is normal, they love each other. You get me? There's many forms that they are just doing the rape to you. One where you're consenting, one where you're being attacked, one where you're being taken into captivity. They can't just attack you with it only. Because the ones who are groomed, that's a huge number in the human race. If they were not groomed, they'd all be safe. They'd be with people their age. They'd be happy. They'd finally be protected in their honor, in their private parts, in their body. The devil's thinking, I can't lose those humans. He wants to take all their honor away. So understand, it's the devil that causes males and females at a certain age, usually the male, to get divorced. So then he can create fake evidence and say males are not happy around 40 something with wives who are the same age group as them. They need female young, because he makes that pervert male who got divorced because he's evil, because he has issues, he doesn't want to deal with. It doesn't always mean he was perverted in the sense that he even did anything perverted. He could just be a toxic human in other ways, but he doesn't want a relationship where the female is his age group, because that's an adult, that's a mature human, that's a compatible partner. They can stop you and constantly say, what the hell's wrong with you? So they don't want that. They don't want to be held accountable. So they go and try to find humans who are children that they can just dominate and, you get me, control. And that's a female younger. So then when they get her and she's just dumb and quiet, always look at them. Especially when they're celebrities, because in real life you're not going to see them as much, right? But celebrities are a good example. Just look at the photos of them or videos of them. She's so submissive. She's so quiet. She doesn't have a personality. She doesn't have an identity. She's just dumb and quiet. Is that what a real 25-year-old is? Okay, exactly, because this one is an evil female. She's perverted. So she's weak as hell. So she's just submissive and dumb and dominated. She's just always doing what this old male in his 30s or 40s wants her to do. Someone who's like her father. If they didn't introduce themselves, you'd think he's her father. You get me? That's from God. The fact that we just naturally think you're the father of someone or the mother of someone you're so older than is God putting that into our conscience. That's always the way it's supposed to be between those two age groups. That he doesn't design them to ever be sexual or be something else with each other. They're always parent and child together. You get me? That's God putting that into your mind. That's not you thinking that way accidentally. We don't have another image of someone old. We always see them as parents because that's their status. That's their role. Not status, goodness. That's their role as a human being. That's the only job God gave them, to be our parents, whether they gave birth to us or not. To always be like a parent to them, to everyone else that they're older than. Only their age group they can be friends and mature, actual equal partners. Fine. So for that reason, God is always guiding you in your conscience to what's weird, what's creepy, what's strange, what's deficient, what's sort of unnatural. What you're thinking. You think this female and this male are parent and child, and then they tell you no, they're the other way around. They're actually together. What the hell? You see this older female and this young boy. I keep using boy, goodness. This young man, like maybe in his 20s, and she's maybe 30s and 40s, and you're thinking, oh, that's his mother, and they're like, no, we're together. That's it. That disgusting, creepy stuff that comes over your stomach, like, ew. That's not an opinion. That's our nature to think that way because they're evil and they're wrong, and that really is you in the eyes of God Almighty. Don't blame God Almighty and think that this is okay to him because you think it's too cruel for him to. What did they do wrong? They consented to it. Oh, who cares if they consented to it? I just told you humans consent to being abducted and kidnapped and trafficked and raped. If you threaten them with a knife, they just do what you say. The hell's wrong with you? Humans are groomed every day. That's not consent. So these humans have psychological issues. They dishonored themselves and went to these humans older than them or way too younger than them. In those interactions, it's sinful and evil what they're doing. God does not like that. He's not okay with that. So he puts it in the conscience of those who are outside of that to try to stop them. And they always fight with us and say, at least they're male and female. At least they're not two males. Leave us alone. They tell you at least they're not blood related. It's not incest or whatever. Leave us alone. We're not going to leave you alone. To be honest, I didn't think God cared about this. I didn't think he was this sort of pure or righteous in this way either. I didn't think he cared about it. I care about it. I always got pissed off at him and told them to do something about that situation where males who are old always come on to females younger than them. I don't mean old only. You could be 25 and she could be 20. Leave her alone. So what I'm saying is, God cares because he put it into my conscience to talk about this. He put it into my conscience to teach humans to leave this. And then 2, he made demons who persecute me show me that this is from them. They showed it to me. I still haven't finished sharing my testimony of all the things that demons did in front of me and to my life to abuse me, to teach me that the things that they are responsible for that humans do every day, such as all these perversions and sexisms, all the lies about God and religion and all the things that they just want you to think is just human. Because of course, if they told you it's demon, you're not going to really, the pervert is not going to know how to argue with you. So they have to say it's human, so you don't know what to say. So they can get away with it. They have to always make it our nature. They have to always accuse us of their filth. They make it seem like it's like a preference thing, like you like blue or green. No, it's a morality thing. You're either evil or good.